Hi guys, today we're gonna be making gumbo. So first things first, my shrimp are really frozen, so I'm gonna put them in this big container and put cold water so they can unfreeze. In about like 20 minutes, they'll be ready, so they'll be good. We're gonna start cutting up the vegetables. I have celery. I cut the ends off, and then I cut it in half, and then I cut them into small pieces. I'm cutting about 3 pieces of celery at the moment. If you guys need like a better angle of me cutting the vegetables, please let me know. I really suck at this, so any suggestions would help me. Okay, now that we got done with the celery, we're gonna move on with the bell pepper. And the bell pepper is kind of easy if you know how to handle it. You cut the ends off, and it becomes like this big roll. And then you cut one part of it, and it should open up, and it should be easy for you to cut. You can cut horizontally, and then you can cut diagonally. I mean, you could cut vertically. You could cut horizontally. Oh my god, I'm dumb. Don't listen to me, guys. As you can see in the video, I'm taking off like these white parts inside of the bell pepper. If you don't take off those white parts, your bell pepper can become bitter. So it's very important that you take off those white parts. You know. And then we cut vertically. I think this is called like julienne style. I'm not too sure. I call it the long way, but you know. Make sure you always have a separate container to put your vegetables in. This is called mise en place, having all your vegetables ready before you start the actual cooking process. So right now I'm just cutting up tomatoes in little squares. Pretty easy. I think everybody has this down. I'm not sure. But if you don't, and if you need a better angle of me cutting these, please, again, let me know. I think you can see everything. I'm not sure. Some people will be like, oh, I can't see enough. But if you're one of those people that say, I can't see enough, please let me know. So now that we cut the tomato, we're gonna move on to our onion. We're gonna cut our onion in half. After we cut our onion in half, we gotta take off this really tough skin that's on it. It's like a skin, like the rest of them. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like this one little skin that if you do not take off, it will not let you cut into the onion really good. So you gotta take it off before getting into like the real onion. So you gotta do that. I think right here at this moment I'm struggling to take off that one part of the skin that I'm talking about, that hard skin that doesn't let you cut into it. I think that's the one I took off. Yep. I was taking that off. Now we have to cut the top of the onion, and once we make that cut, we gotta cut vertically, and we have to cut about half an inch apart. If you cut too far, if you make the cuts too far apart, you will have really big pieces of onion, and you won't like that. I myself don't like when there's like small pieces and then big pieces and then small pieces. I like everything to be consistent, and I like all my cuts to be the same. Moment where I asked my sister to get me a cup of all-purpose flour from the pantry. So she did that while I was cutting the onion. And then you make an incision across the onion, and then you cut horizontally. And that's how you get your cubes. You cut. And the cut.
It's all the way at the bottom in the back. On the left side. It's all the way in the back.
I had forgotten I had washed these. I had forgotten to wash these, but I washed them. And you cut into them. These are really easy. You can buy like the big bell peppers, but I had bought like this whole bag of like little sweet
Close it when you
bell peppers, whatever. So I'm gonna just use these. You can use the big ones. I have to use these because this is what I had on hand. So you know. So I cut the ends off, and then you do the same thing like you did with the bell pepper, and then you cut vertically, and then you cut horizontally, and then you get the perfect little squares. These are really easy. I like these. These are really versatile. You can throw them into whatever pot or whatever you're cooking with, and they're really good. Okay, now we're going to move on to cutting the sausage. This is a Hillshire andouille smoked sausage, I believe. You can use any, as long as it's sausage. I like this one because it's really good. It's my son's favorite. I've tried other ones and he didn't really like them, but this one he likes. So what I do is I cut the ends off from like where they connect, and then I pinch it together and then cut it that way so they can be together while you cut, and they don't look lopsided, you know. So again, we have to put this in a separate container. So these, we can't just throw these in the pot just like that. We have to brown them before we do end up putting them in the pot. So we gotta saute. That's how you say it. We gotta saute them a little bit, brown them up in a separate pan, and then we can throw them into the gumbo. Okay, so now that we're done with our cutting, I'm gonna focus on my shrimp. My shrimp were like really frozen from like the top. Okay, so if you have like a bag of frozen shrimp and you need it unfrozen in like 5 minutes, like the next 5 minutes or whatever. So I took off the cold water that was in there and I put more cold water. And like if you move them around, they should start to like unfreeze or defrost. You have to put cold water. If you put hot water into the cold shrimp, they will cook. So do not pour hot water, or like you can do like warm water, but make sure that it's not hot water. If you put in like a little bit of warm water instead of the cold water, it will defrost the shrimp faster. This is what I was doing at the moment. I was putting water into the shrimp, more water, taking out the water that was in there, putting more water to put it in there, and like by the time I'm done doing the thing in the pan, the shrimp were already unfrozen, like they were good to go. So
Oh, he caught them? He caught him like spanking Macarena. And like because of him, he was starting to like date Macarena. Yeah. So he told him that she's a manipulator and that she manipulates men. Yeah. Here, can you bring it over here? 'Cause from here on out, I have to have it over here. Oh, you want me to record that? Yeah. You want to record with the back?
okay, so we're going to put in our 1 cup of flour and our 1 cup of corn oil. I used corn oil. You can use another. It's very good to use vegetable oil. It's even better to use vegetable. The only reason why I used corn oil is because it's the only one I had. You can use olive oil. It's better to use vegetable oil or canola oil. If you have any of the oils, use it. Whatever. I did. Some people will say I'm wrong for this. Sue me. Whatever. Okay, so we're gonna mix it around. This is like the one process or like the one step of the gumbo that's like makes you want to pull your hair out, because like you literally have to stand here the whole time as it receives its color or as it gets its color. So first it's like really white. We have to cook the flour, because if you don't cook the flour you can have like a really bad stomach ache, you know. So we cook it with the oil, move it around. This is gonna take a while, guys, so be ready to just stand here and listen to my voice and watch this thing turn to chocolate brown. It's gotta be like a chocolate brown. So before I would only leave it up to like where it's brown, and then like I started doing it to like where it was like chocolate brown, and honestly I made a mistake. I should have never done that, because I don't really like it when it's like really, really chocolate brown. I like it when it's brown, but not when it's like too dark. So don't make the same mistake that I did. I'll tell you guys when to stop, because I didn't know where to stop. So my stove goes by numbers, and at the moment I have the heat at a number 4. So it's like a medium heat. Um, I try to have it like a medium heat or like a high heat because this takes a really long time. And like if you have it at like really low heat, it will take literally like an hour just to do this step. So just speed up the process a little bit. I just sped it up and made sure to just stand there and stir it. If you leave it, it will burn. So keep stirring it. Do not stop stirring and keep moving it around because if you don't, it will stick and it will burn. And if it burns, well, you're kind of screwed because then you can't use it. And then if it gets burned, it will have like a bitter taste to the gumbo. You won't like it. I didn't like it when I burned mine one time. So.
Not right now. But now it's hot now. So can you please smell my bed?
Hold on, not right now. Not right now, baby.
Everyone's cooking.
Hold on, baby. She's doing something. She's helping me. She's making gumbo.
Gumbo?
Mm-hmm.
I like gumbo. Mommy, I like gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I love your gumbo.
Thank you.
I love your gumbo, Mommy.
Thank you, baby.
Little hug for singing gumbo.
Thank you, my love.
Mine. That's why I had Cheeto hands. And I washed them off. And now they're all clean.
Good job, baby.
It starts to curdle and look like this. I think that's when you should add your vegetables. I should have had mine right here, but I kept going. Don't do the same mistake I did. Just put all your vegetables right there. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, so now that it got its color, it's looking like a nice milk chocolate or hazelnut color. Now that it got this color, you can start adding in your vegetables. Don't wait, just add them in right now, because I waited and I ain't really like the taste to it. I like it better when it's like this. The reason why I waited or I made it more brown was because in this other recipe that I had seen, somebody actually did it like really dark. They said they liked it. I decided to try it. Didn't really like it. So if I were you guys, I'd just start putting in my vegetables now. Turned down the heat to about a 1, and then I started bringing all my stuff around, so I'll be ready to just add in the things. The reason why I moved the whole pot is because it's like oil and flour, so if you shake the pot, it moves around pretty easily. That's why I grab the pot and then I just stir it around like that, because it's really easy to stir it and move it around instead of the little bamboo spoon. Okay, this is when I started to add in the vegetables. You just add them in. You put the heat up to like a 2, like a low medium heat. Stir it around. Sorry, because of the steam, you weren't really able to see. But it's supposed to get coated with the flour and the oil, and it's supposed to become like sticky. It has to look like this. You have to leave it in the pot for a while so the vegetables can soften up with the oil and the flour and all that good stuff. Now, while this is cooking in the pot, this takes about like a good 5 minutes to soften them up. So while we have that cooking, we're gonna saute or brown our sausage. Ooh, my pajamas are cute. Can you see them? They're like on the side. Either way. Okay, so we brown up the sausage. Look at me trying to be a chef. Stir it a bit. This doesn't really take long. It's just my pan wasn't really that hot when I started. This is almost done. We gotta stir this one. Again, we don't have, please don't use the same spoon spoon to stir this and to stir the sausage. I have different spoons. But we stir this around so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. It cannot stick to the bottom of the pan because then you'll have like stickiness at the bottom. I don't know. But do not let it stick, because if it sticks, it burns. You do not want it to burn. Okay, so go back to the sausage. Make sure it's all brown, cooked almost all the way. The reason why we have to brown it is so it can like be partially cooked, and while we put it in with everything inside of it, it will finish cooking. It will boil with the chicken broth and everything else that's inside. So we have to partially cook it before we fully cook it. Give it that nice brown color. Next step, after all the vegetables are softened up, we have to add in the chicken broth. And I use regular chicken broth that you can get from the store. Just 1 carton is enough. You don't really need that much water or juice, broth, or stock in this. It has to be like a thick consistency, so you don't really need that much. Okay, so now that we got the chicken broth in there, we gotta stir it up a bit. Have all the vegetables. Just get everything in there. Uncoat the vegetables with the flour. Have the flour get into the stock. Don't forget to season your food. Always add salt and pepper. I added salt right there. You can add black pepper. You have to use garlic. I use garlic. I added a bit. I don't measure, so if you guys want to take out like a little spoon, I would suggest that's like a teaspoon or that's like 2-3 teaspoons of garlic. And then I also add Cajun spices. You have to add Cajun spice to this. You can also add gumbo file. You can get it at any store. I have some, but I did not put it in because I really don't like how it tastes. I only added it because somebody told me to add it, and I did add it, but I did not like it. So you can use either 1 or 2 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning into this. It really makes a big difference for your gumbo, for you to put Cajun seasoning into your gumbo. So we stir that around. I did not show how I made my shredded chicken because I already had it in hand. If you don't have shredded chicken, you can buy a rotisserie chicken and shred it and just add that, which I've done before. I just happen to have shredded chicken in my fridge, so just add it. We add the chicken. We stir that around a little bit. As you guys can see, it's starting to look more like gumbo. We add in, some people don't like to add in the the oil and stuff from them. You can put them in a, you can like put paper towels in a plate or a bowl and then put the sausages in there so they can soak up the oil, so you don't get that much oil into your gumbo if you don't want oil in your gumbo. You leave that in the pot for about 5 minutes. Five. And once that's done, after 5 minutes, we add in the shrimp. We stir that in the pot. Always taste your food to make sure it's good. It's up to par. Oh yeah. Like my son says, oh yeah, baby. Look at that gumbo. Thick. It's gotta be just like that, thick. Gotta be hard to move around. And you have your gumbo, ladies and gents. You cover it for like 5 minutes and the shrimp would be ready. I'm gonna stir it around, make sure that the shrimp get all up in there, all the way at the bottom of the pan. Make sure that the shrimp doesn't just stay on top. You gotta move it around. Get everything up in there.